Hello everyone, and welcome to my revisited series for Heroes of the Pacific. Now, we played through Heroes of the Pacific like all those I played Heroes of the Pacific on my channel like all those years ago. This again because this is a childhood game of mine on the PS2. And so yeah, I don't remember what year I did the Heroes of the Pacific series on my channel. But yeah, I did the original series on my actual PS2, but I don't have access to my PS2 right now. So we are actually playing this on the PCS X2 emulator. So yeah, which is why it might look much higher resolution, because it's an emulator, just like how I played the Ace Combat series, the Ace Combat PS2 games. So yeah. Let's get into it, but before we start, there's a disclaimer. Obviously, this game takes place during World War II, so it will contain, this game will contain dialogue that is, it will contain some, not so nice words about about the Japanese, including what's considered slurs today. So yeah, disclaimer. Remember, this game is a World War II game. So yeah. Anyways, let's just jump into the campaign. Oh, apparently I took too long in the main menu and it's going through a demo reel. Remember when games had demo reels? So yeah, as I said, this was a childhood game of mine and on the PS2. And so, yeah, and this is basically a remake / reboot of the playthrough. And this time, however, I will be adding some more historical context, because I have learned a lot about history since the last playthrough. I've learned a lot about the Pacific War, mostly from watching channels like the Operations Room and Montemayor. So, yeah. Let's just jump right into the campaign. In my original playthrough, we went through flight training first. But, we know how to fly. Let's just jump into the campaign. So I am using an existing save file. I do have everything already unlocked in this save file. So, yeah. Let's just go.
My name's William Crow. I'm a pilot in the U.S. Navy. My dad used to be a pilot in the United States Air Force, so growing up we moved around a lot. New towns, new schools, new friends. Dad used to take my kid brother Charlie and me to the air base at whatever town we lived in at the time. Every year there'd be new planes, new models. Every year they were faster and stronger, each one better than the one before. Then there was the accident. Some pilot screwed his landing and crashed. Dad was working in the hangar. He ran out and pulled the pilot from the burning plane right before it went up. Dad was badly burned. He was lucky to be alive, but he couldn't fly anymore. He got a discharge and a pension. Well, the pension was never enough, and pretty soon we found ourselves farming a patch of dirt just to get by. Out there, the only things we had plenty of were dirt and sky. Our only entertainment was a busted old crop duster, so Charlie and I became the Dirt Duster Brothers. We flew the wings off that old crate. As much fun as that was, it couldn't last forever. The Navy was our way out. When we got old enough, we joined up. I graduated from flight training at Pensacola. Charlie trained as a sailor. Before long, we got our postings. I was stationed at Hickam Field, Pearl Harbor. Charlie was on the USS Arizona, a great name for a great battleship, the pride of the fleet.
Oh boy, I'm sure that'll go great. All right, so we are gonna be again playing on the Ace difficulty, because I'm a baller like that. Though I will say on the Ace difficulty, enemies basically become bullet sponges. So have fun. Enemies do 1,000,000 damage and sort of become bullet sponges. So yay. Maybe not exactly the most balanced, but we ball. 1931, Japan invades China. Yay. Not yay, but yeah. 1941, Japan and attacks Pearl Harbor. And here we go. Because that's how America entered World War II, when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. Everyone, I mean, everyone remembers that. Or rather, everyone knows that. Anyways, so there is only one mission in the Pearl Harbor campaign. And so let's start. Let's go. Surprise attack.
We've been caught off guard by a Japanese surprise attack. You must take off at once to avoid being destroyed on the ground by their attack planes. Once airborne, you must defend the planes still on the ground and our vital fueling facilities. If you fail, our fleet will be severely hampered in their ability to strike back after this vicious attack. It seems the war has finally begun, Lieutenant Crow.
Seems it has. So there's a funny thing. Our character is named William Crow, but a funny thing is that during the Iran-Iraq war later in like the 70s and 80s, there was an admiral named William Crow. There was a USS Navy admiral named William Crow. So funny coincidence, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if this game was inspired by that. But anyways, let's go. So we are starting. I'll try my best to show off most of the aircraft available in the game. Also, by the way, since this we are playing on an emulator and the emulation is not perfect, there are definitely going to be a few graphical glitches. Like that. Apparently the plane's nose just clipping through the camera or something. So we're going to start with we are going to start with the Warhawk. Normally at the start of the game we'd only have the basic Warhawk, which is very weak. It has, it's the basic plane. Although in real life the Warhawk was actually pretty decent. So we are actually gonna go for the P-40C Warhawk at least. This is the one-step upgraded Warhawk. It has 2 50 cals and 4 30 cals in the wings. So yeah, its stats are still still not great, but it's the basic plane. It's the game's basic plane. Anyways, we're gonna start it. We're in the U.S. Navy, but this is an Army Air Force fighter. Just ignore that. All right, let's go. The Warhawk was built in huge numbers during World War II. By avoiding turn fights, Warhawk pilots could successfully take on Japanese planes. All right, let's go. And we're just gonna jump right into it.
Pearl Harbor was hell. One minute I was thinking about getting out of bed. The next minute the sky's so thick with planes I could barely see the sun.
Now this is an epic loading screen. For the time at least. This is a pretty cool loading screen for the time. It's animated. Whoa! Here we go. Pearl Harbor. December 7th, 1941. Here we go. Scramble! We gotta scramble. We're stationed. We're taking it from Hickam Field, which is right here, and we gotta go. First target are these incoming zeros that are targeting the rest of the Warhawk still on the ground. Amazed that we managed to get off the ground in time. Hey, and here's the zeros. The famous Mitsubishi A6M0. And we're just gonna blast them, just like that. Oh, they took out one of the Warhawks. They took out one of the Warhawks on the ground. You might have noticed the graphical glitches are mostly with the ground textures. Like the ground textures just tend to glitch out a lot. Yeah, there's nothing I can do unless I actually switch to a soft. I've tried using every single renderer in PCS X2. Nothing gets rid of those glitches except using the software renderer, which I don't want to do. So anyways, let's just finish off the 0.
Warhawks are safe. Now rescue Warhawk pilots, get off the ground and go after those chaps. Val, we got high-level bombers heading for the runway, coming in from the north. Get up there, take them out.
Alright, incoming Val dive bombers.
I'll intercept them.
The IEG ED3A Val dive bombers. Let's go take them out. They're hanging for the hangars, which makes sense. Although in real life they didn't really attack. I don't think they attacked Hickam Field much. They mostly focus on the ships. Oh jeez, they're diving. Oh jeez, more Vals. That was not a target though. The rear gunners are shooting at us, but we got. Let's take them out before they drop their bombs. Nice. They might crash into the hangar. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Crashing planes don't do. Planes that are already shot down don't do damage. Don't worry about it.
Bombers from the southeast on the way to Battleship Row. Crow, if you can spare the ammo.
Yeah. Incoming torpedo bombers to Battleship Row. Here's Battleship Row right here. We can take a look at the ships of Battleship Row. We have time for the torpedo bombers arrive. Here's California. Here's Oklahoma.
Another enemy down.
This is West Virginia. Oh, bomb just hit Arizona. Here's Arizona. Don't know where's Vestal. Those also don't know where's the rest of the ships in the harbor. The non-battleships in the harbor. The Vestal, there's supposed to be repair ship Vestal moored right next to Arizona.
Sir, I need your assistance.
Here's Maryland. And here's Tennessee. Or I think it might be the other way around. Here's Ford Island.
I can't shake this bandit, sir.
There's a couple of battleships in dry dock over here, but one of the ships over here is supposed to be... There's supposed to be a battleship here, which is Pennsylvania. Those two battleships in dry dock back there are supposed to be over here. But anyways, let's take out these Kates. Don't know why they're approaching from the south.
I'll take the bombers.
Yep, working on the bombers. Don't know why these Kates are coming from the south. They're supposed to be coming from the northwest. Yeah, these rear gunners can be a problem in larger numbers, but at the beginning of the game, in such small numbers, they're fine. It's like they came from the direction of Honolulu or something. Are they attacking us from Honolulu? Doesn't make any sense, but don't worry about it. All right, incoming Zeros attacking in the oil tanks. Now this attack never actually happened on the oil tanks. Those are supposed to be part of the third wave of attacks, which never materialized. But we're just gonna pretend that this attack actually exists. So yeah, this was basically like kind of it was a carrier. I know. Oh, where did they come from? A carrier air raid. A carrier launch air raid has never really been. Oh, this is pretty much the first large-scale carrier air raid. Carrier launch air raid. Oh jeez. Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, don't worry about it. That's probably gonna happen in this game. We're gonna ram enemy planes a lot. It's believed that the Japanese took inspiration on this raid from the British attack on the Italian Taranto harbor in the year earlier, 1940. The British carrier base raid hit on Taranto, which is pretty successful. yeah, it's believed that the Japanese took notes from that attack. Oh, there it goes. Yep, we've lost California. That's fine. They can have California. They can have the state of California, it's fine.
The Japs' main target.
You can nuke it too.
Navy intelligence must have screwed the pooch on this one, Crow.
Yep, California is going down. Surprise! Oklahoma hasn't gone down yet. Oklahoma took multiple torpedo strikes and pretty much completely rolled over. I also don't know where's USS Nevada. USS Nevada is supposed to be like moored somewhere like just past Battleship Row, like somewhere over there. But Nevada is not here, so I guess they're attacking the oil tanks. Oh jeez, we lost the fuel tank. We need that fuel. We definitely need that fuel. That's pretty important. But so did the Japanese. Although that's the whole reason they attacked America in the first place, so they can get because oil. Because America cut off their oil, and so and they wanted to get oil elsewhere, i.e. the Dutch East Indies, which is modern day Indonesia. But they attacked America because the Philippines was in the way, and the Philippines was a U.S. territory. Damn.
Denied. We all lost friends today. You've got to land and rearm. There might be more Japs coming in, and we have to protect what's left.
I swear, I'm gonna find the bastards that did this to us and make them pay. You don't sucker punch the United States and get away with it.
Yeah, America.
You'll get your chance, Crow. It looks like we're going to need all the pilots we can get.
Yeah. Arizona took a bomb to the magazine, which set off the magazine and blew up and pretty much split the ship in two. Although the massive explosion isn't really depicted here, but yeah, there is actually a film. There's actually like a video recording of Arizona of the explosion of Arizona, recorded at the time. Which is pretty wild. And it was a massive explosion. Half of the casualties of the Pearl Harbor attack came from Arizona. The explosion was so powerful that he snuffed out the fires on Vestal that was moored next to it. So, yeah. Surprisingly, all the other battleships appears to still be functional. Oh, in that cutscene, during that cutscene, pretty much all of America's battleships were either sunk or damaged during the attack. And though most of them would be salvaged, except for Arizona and Oklahoma. So yeah. Well, mission complete. Yay, we've been attacked. We sort of defended the base, but we lost a lot.
Dear Mom and Dad, there's no easy way to tell you this. Charlie's dead. Wanted you to hear it from me before the man from the Navy arrives. But I'm not sure this letter will beat their telegraph.
I mean, it's gonna be a lot of dead people. Oh, so yeah.
The Japs knew what they were after. They hid the ships while our boys were still in their bunks. The Arizona went down during the attack. As she sank, we could hear the boys trapped inside screaming for our help, but we couldn't get them out. I'm sorry I can't write more, but as of this morning, we're at war. I'm shipping out for Wake Island in a couple of hours. I swear this to you now. Those Japs are gonna pay for what they did to our family and our country. William Crow.
And thus, America was dragged into the war. And very angry. You don't touch America's boats!
The attack on Pearl Harbor pulled us into the war. In just a couple of hours, hundreds of Jap pilots hit our fleet hard, decimating our battleships. Thankfully, our carriers were at sea during the attack. This was quite a piece of good luck. But their attack on Pearl was just the beginning. The Japs hit all over the Pacific, from Malaya to the Dutch East Indies. They did a lot of damage, but they also stirred up a hornet's nest. We were mad, and our rage was directed one way, west, to Japan. When we entered the war, we thought we'd get it over quick. We'd be home by Christmas telling stories about how we kicked the Japs' ass. Man, we were so wrong. Hitting Pearl Harbor wasn't enough for them. They wanted Wake Island, too. Now, Wake's just an airfield on a speck of sand in the middle of the Pacific, but they wanted it bad.
But, alright, Wake Island and it's coming up next. Somehow we ship out to Wake Island. And even though Wake Island was basically attacked, even though Wake Island didn't get any reinforcements, but don't worry about that part. Germany and Italy declare war on the United States. Japanese attack U.S. base on Wake Island. Yep, Japan pretty much rapidly conquered a lot of the Pacific region. So, yeah. So, I mentioned earlier that Japan attacked America because they needed oil. Oh, and America cut off their oil. America cut off their oil because Japan were kind of committing atrocities in China. So, yeah. Anyways, I think for this series, we're gonna do like one campaign per video. So, yeah. Which means we're gonna end it here. Thanks for coming out, guys. I will see you guys next time. Bye.